Caitlin Clark.
Unnecessary.
Clark's Indiana Fever taking on the Chicago Sky on Saturday. The Sky's Kennedy Carter hitting a shot, then heading over to Clark and shoulder checking her. The refs called it a common foul, but the league yesterday upgraded the call to a flagrant foul.
Her and Carter were jawing a little bit back and forth the last few possessions.
The two were seen before the play, exchanging words at the other end of the court. Carter refused to answer questions about the foul after the game.
I ain't answering no Caitlin Clark questions.
But later, Carter saying this on social media. Besides three-point shooting, what does she bring to the table?
I think at this point, I know I'm going to take a couple hard shots a game.
Clark's coach calling the foul unacceptable.
That was a non-basketball.
So, the WNBA. Now, the WNBA is quickly growing in popularity. It is still not, creeping in on the, top 4 sports in America, but still it is quickly growing. And I cannot get on Twitter without seeing Caitlin Clark, WNBA, Angel Reese, now the girl who hit Caitlin Clark, Kennedy Carter. Of course, she's getting death threats and people standing outside the team bus. But I can't get on Twitter without hearing anybody debate why is the WNBA taking off. Stephen A. and ESPN, his fellow ESPN colleague Monica McNutt, they were trending the other day because she said, Stephen A., you talking about basketball now, and it's been years, and you ain't never talked about the WNBA before. And he's, it's just, oh my goodness, man. Everybody wants to know it's not even what's causing it. They don't want to talk about that. The argument is Caitlin Clark has raised the stock of the WNBA audience. And the other argument is that we don't care about Caitlin Clark. The WNBA is full of a bunch of good players. Stop talking about Caitlin Clark. But pretty much my question comes down to there's clearly we don't care about you, Caitlin Clark mentality in the WNBA right now. And my question is, who breaks first? Is it the WNBA or is it Caitlin Clark?
Well, now when you say breaks, what what do you mean?
So by break, I'm gonna go ahead and say, does Caitlin Clark become another player or does she take over the league?
Yes and no. I feel like the WNBA has always had talented players, and just like every league, the players get better as the league grows, and none is more sure than that for the WNBA. The players have always been good, but they are better than they've ever been. And while and that is correct, that the league is like, hey, we players too, it's a lot of good players in this league, and we deserve some attention too, which is true. But at the same time, it's like, Caitlin Clark is the reason y'all are getting all this attention. So it's like, yeah, I get where y'all coming from. Yeah, y'all deserve some attention too. But Caitlin Clark is why everybody's paying attention to the NBA. Caitlin Clark, and I will even say Angel Reese as well, because those are if I think of two female basketball players, those are the only two names I can think of: Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark has more popularity than Angel Reese, but Caitlin Clark is kind of like the good guy in the white hat, and Angel Reese is the villain. And both of them garner attention and bring attention to the league, and both of them are necessary for this league to flourish. So they should be happy that she is getting all this attention. At the same time, yes, there are other players in the league, and they overhype Caitlin Clark. By the way, I'm not a Caitlin Clark fan, but I understand how she's necessary, and what she brings to the table, whether she's because I'm sure she's a 3-point shooter, and I'm sure there are better players in the WNBA than her. But what she brings to the league is what used to draw me to the NBA. Players with character, players with personality. One of the reasons that I used to watch the NBA is not just for the talent and what I was seeing on the screen, but the talent, the personalities around the league. This person, the personalities like what Shaq brought, or Magic, or any of the stars, from the earlier years, which I feel is lacking from the game today, which is why I don't like the NBA as much as I used to. But Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have personality. Even this new girl, and but it's mainly Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese. Even with the NBA, the thing that drew me to the league, to the NBA, because I don't watch the NBA as much anymore. But the reason why is because they don't have the personalities that I feel like they used to have back in the day. It was people like Magic Johnson and Larry Bird and Kobe and all those guys, and Shaq. Just they all brought different personalities to the league. So it wasn't just their talent; it was everything going on, the personalities around the game. It was interesting. It was, what I'm saying, it was rivalries with almost every team. And I feel like Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese bring that to the WNBA, which makes it interesting.
So I like what you said there. I'm gonna elaborate on personality, and I'm gonna take it a step higher and say rivalries, man. That was my thing about the NBA. Was I loved rivalries. I loved, and that's dying in sports altogether, which is just like people that just love their team. This is my team. I'm a ride or die with my team. Especially now in the NBA, it's, hey, you give it 2-3 years, and hey, it's not working. Time to move on. Nobody really, nobody sticks with their teams anymore. Everybody's buddy. It's no, just that, nastiness. I was hoping that we would get that out of Anthony Edwards. He's still young in his career. But this was really his opportunity to step out and take that. I was excited, and it's only been game one, but I was a little bit excited about this Mavericks Celtics series because I'm a big Kyrie Irving fan, and Boston hates Kyrie Irving. So deep down inside, I would love to see Kyrie Irving beat the Celtics and get a championship. But they got blasted yesterday, and the way the Celtics played yesterday is like, ooh, it's gonna be a tough mountain to climb. So we'll see how that goes. But as far as Caitlin Clark goes in the WNBA, like I said, there's the new age of sports has not got to the WNBA. These players don't like each other. It's not just Caitlin Clark. But to your point, yes, I have watched more WNBA, and it hasn't even all been Caitlin Clark games. But the fact that I have been watching the WNBA, is basketball. That's the best way I could put it.
Right.
It's almost like watching pickup basket. No disrespect to the WNBA. It's almost like watching pickup basketball because these people don't have as many sponsors as the NBA. These people don't have projects going on like NBA players do. The NBA is a business. NBA is a business. That's the best way I could put it. And the WNBA hasn't reached that level, so it's still just basketball, and it's people competing and trying to win. Like that's what's most important for the WNBA.
Right.
The NBA is winning, and I can't say the same for the NBA. There are players, of course, who want to win, but at the same time, there's players. Hell, it was a guy just got disbarred. Kicked out of the league for life for gambling. It's they trying to get money in the NBA, and power to them. But it's just not as good of a product as it once was. But all that to say, to go back to my original question, I'm gonna answer. Then I'm gonna ask you. 5 years from now, I guess the best way I can say who breaks first, the league or Caitlin Clark. And real quick, you are correct. Angel Reese, definitely. I do agree with you. Angel Reese definitely is a personality. She's got a good game. I like her game too. And she definitely brings people to the table to watch the WNBA. This whole class that came in, they talked about it on the radio, how this was the most watched WNBA draft easily of all time. It's been way more viewers than ever. It's been more ticket sales than ever. And yeah, it's Caitlin Clark. So 5 years from now, do I think Caitlin Clark is the best player in the WNBA? The one thing about that is there are some big women, like tall, strong women in the WNBA. But at the same time, I kind of expected this out of Kate. I kind of expected this to go this way because the Indiana Fever, who she got drafted to, had the number one pick. Why they had the number one pick? Obviously, they were the worst team in the league last year. So what does that mean? That means you get the best player in the draft, and that means that your coach will be fired usually in the next 2 to 3 years, and they're going to fire your coach and bring in somebody else and try to convince you to stay with the team and tell you that it's your team now and move on from that coach. That's usually how it goes. And maybe in the WNBA, that's not how they're going to do it. But assuming that they bring in a coach who tailors the team, because in 5 years, Caitlin Clark, less than 5 years, in a couple years, she'll be, like you said, like J-Mo, more acclimated to the league. Bringing in a coach that's going to build the team around her because everybody knows this is Caitlin Clark. Because the stuff she was doing in Iowa, obviously she's not going to be able to do it here because they already have a system in place. So it's up to Caitlin Clark to, get on board with the system, and eventually she's going to change the system to make it fit her. But I would say in 5 years, is she going to be the best player in the league? I would say she's going to be top 5, undoubtedly. What about you?
Well, like I said, I think I said it earlier, but I got cut out. I feel like will in 5 years, will she be the best player in the league? I don't think she'll be the best player in the league because there, like old girl was saying, there are a lot of talented players in the WNBA. And Caitlin Clark her best attribute right now is 3-point shooting. So it's like I don't think she'll be the best player in the league. Will she be the most media-driven player in the league? Will she be the most followed player in the league? Yes, I feel like she'll be the face of the league. I feel like she'll do enough that every time she does something, it will blow up and be all over social media and be like, see, I told you. Look, she had another good game. She's the best. She's the best. But I think she'll be up there. I think she'll be up there. I don't think she'll fall off or become one of the lower players in the league. I can't say the best though, because like you said, there are a lot of bigger women, talented women with dribbles, in the league. So I think she'll be up there media wise. I think she'll always be the face, until somebody as hot as her comes along and takes her place. But as of right now, we don't know when that'll ever happen again. You know what I'm saying? If it continues to trend the way it is, maybe. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the up and coming stars will find the fame and bring the personality that Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese have brought to the game. Like I said, I don't know if you heard this either, but no, right now Caitlin Clark is like the good guy with the white hat, and Angel Reese is the villain. And those are the most popular players in the league, so it draws the media to them, and so that's how I think it'll go. I don't think she'll be the most talented, but I do think she'll be the most popular.